Siri_bot. Siri_bot has joined Cerebolove. Stream elements. Artextric is now live. Streaming art. Draw with me. ANIMEART studies. ANIMEART studies 7 number. How to draw number. How to draw number. ANIMEART. Illusion Irina. Hello white smiling face. Illusion Irina. If you say something I can't hear you.
Okay, there you go. That was weird. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, sound.
Illusion Irina. Hi smiling face with open mouth and smiling eyes. Illusion Irina. Illusion Irina.
Hold on.
Yes, teamwork.
Something's not right. Why is it? Oh wait, it is. I'm so stupid. Okay, that's turned on. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Go to Trovo. Okay, that's turned on. And we can turn on Facebook. Actually, no. Turn off Facebook. Fuck. No, should I turn off? Have I been growing on Facebook? I don't think I have. I'll turn it on. It doesn't matter. I don't use it like that. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now the next thing we need to do.
Artextric. Send stars to show your support.
Okay. Go over there. Yes, teamwork. Yes, teamwork. Hold on, hun. 1 second. Gotta get this real quick. Yeah. Only Shatani. Where'd the guy go? Okay, over here. And then what we'll do is online class brainstorm school online class character design 0 week. All right. Go to my history. We're gonna do 1 video today. Just 1. Okay, recommendations. Okay. 9 months ago, 4 months ago. Oh, is this one I wanted to? Okay. Okay. Well, let's go. Okay, I'm going to grab this, go to my Reacts TV,
Illusion Irina.
and then go to
Since
here.
you're drawing, there's not going to be any other sounds than you talking, right?
This will be music, but that's gonna be through the mic or anything like that, because like I don't play music through the stream because obvious copyright reasons, but I still get in trouble sometimes. But other than that, nope, there's gonna be no other sound other than like probably the TikTok gifs and shit. But other than that, nope. No other sounds other than probably some music, whatever, but that's not important. The annoying part was that I don't know why. I'm starting to actually think what happened with the sound from the
Illusion
game.
Irina.
It glitched.
Okidoki white smiling face, no sound other than me. Got it.
I got you. I think it glitched and that's why all the sound went up. I think that's what happened. I'm gonna give my benefit of doubt to my audience. I'm not gonna be too much of a dickhead about it. That's what I think what's happened. Okay, access out. Don't need this here. Okay, like there. And pull this like this. Don't need this either. Don't need this. What's this? No, keep that. Don't need this. Okay. Back. Okay. We are back. Boom 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 boom. You know. I'm back, peoples. I'm back at it again. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back up. 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 Oh shit! No wonder. Oh shit! I'm dumb. I didn't even think of that. Totally forgot I did that.
Illusion Irina. Chibi drawing of who?
Yes, I'm doing a commission. It's a chibi drawing. Hold on. Whew. Okay. This is where the problem might come in. Alright, so I'm gonna fix these legs. Don't know why they look like that. I'm gonna fix these legs, bro. I'll make sure we get these legs. Okay, like that. Okay, erase this. Erase that. I don't know why it looks like that. Why does the leg look like that? Huh. We'll figure that out later. Fix them legs. They're all wonky. They look wonky. Big wonky.
Says your pen came.
Yep. Okay. So far, we're in better shapes than we were before. Okay, now I'm gonna delete this. Okay. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for the like. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sean. Make the legs look like that and stuff. Yeah, like, could be like little nub nubs. Should have little nubs for legs. It don't have to be something insane.
Says I just wanted to go outside for a smoke. Now my cat sits on me.
They just want to sit. They're like, don't smoke. Not yet. Don't go for a smoke. Don't do it, sound. Spend time with my... That's all I want. I want to spend time with it. That's all. Yeah.
Says bad sound.
Let me see here. Not really like this song too much. Do not like this song.
If you're finally ready to take a trip without the kids.
Thank you, Sound of UT for X382 likes.
With more kids.
Okay, so she got her little legs.
Get an Airbnb and have
Now,
to yourself.
Okay.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now. Wish me luck. Great.
Okay, now the side here looks a little weird, so we're gonna make sure we get rid of that. Don't know where that's from. I'm gonna get rid of it. It looks really weird and strange. Now, what is this that's here? I can actually move with some free. I can move freely as I please. I'm not restricted to a fucking wire all the time. Thank God. I'm not restricted to a wire. Most cases, if you guys notice, I'm always restricted to a wire to the damn thing because it was charging it while I was using it, so it was forever was giving me power. But like I think that's what killed it mainly, because the overabundance of power just running through it. Now we no time to rest, so the battery died faster than it should have. Learn my lesson from that now. It's like if you have your phone charged and you're using it, it actually kills the phone faster, believe it or not. Okay.
Says I was actually watching Bridgerton, but this is more interesting. Says no, I don't think so. It's just a lot of drama and women and men trying to find love. Says maybe Queen Charlotte, but honestly, I don't care about that. Says good afternoon, everyone. Says at Brightriclose, hide Bry. Says I didn't even see anything about it being problematic. Says okay, I see. Says oh. Says did you see who's playing Rapuzzle? Says at Sound of Yuki, hi Yuki. Says yes. Says check. Says got the new stylist, I see. Says I think that would be cool. Says no, read first comment. Says no, yeah, I just said it would be cool if Disney created new movies. Says yes, like they did with Mona and Encanto. Says that sound of few more animated movies would be nice. Says that brighter close exactly I think so do. Says Coco was amazing too. Says all these live action movies aren't needed in my opinion. Says, oh, it's that time of the day again, sweet. Says, yes, I don't think him going to watch any live action anymore. Says, hello, Teach. Says, oh, the new stylist came. How is it? Says, oh, I see. Says at High Mono. Says, wait, this is a tablet, right? Not the whole screen. Says at Britriclos Helubri. Says thank you for drawing lol. Says I mean it's computer screen size. Cheese. Cheese.
Oh my god, it's corn.
Cheese. Says I stopped watching TV like 5 or 6 years ago. Says him still watching TV, but only for background noises. Says there isn't anything interesting on it and I can get everything I need to the computer. Says that TV show sounds really weird. Says that's so weird, ha 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 ha. Says I mean I watched MTV when I was younger, but I don't remember this show. Says true. Says there's also has more stuff on Netflix than we have. Says, oh my god, this had to be scripted. Says he'll look it up. Says what you doing. Says it has a rating of 3.310. Says wow. Says that Junebug has drawing a chibi character for a commission. Says WSP. Says him and the boys sleepover. Says I hope I don't fall asleep first. Says oh my god, the funny number. Says I really want to watch an episode. Says you are not the boyfriend. I used to watch Catfish a lot, if that was real or scripted. Says it not that many. Says I had to send 25 for LVL to. Says number 69. Says one time someone was on Catfish convinced he was in a relationship with Katy Perry. Says at that point I was like, okay, this is fake, this has to be fake. Says it's those two coins bracelets. Says someone created a fake Katy Perry account and talked to him like this for years. Says don't count them. Says and they even found the girl and let her talk to him and explain everything. Says, but he was like, nope, him in a relationship with Katy Perry. Says an old Nokia. Says, and they did it for years. Yeah, I was only chatting with my girlfriend for years. Are you kidding? Says not me, I'm watching on the rock. Says right. Says these are kinda 50-50s. Says both is important. Says OEA being funny is very important. Imagine being with a boring person. Says yeah, but the problem is they don't stay nice for long. Says oh yeah, nice guys expect every girl to like them just because they're nice. Says it's because they think if they buy them ice cream, the girl will want to sleep with them. Says it he's creepy. Says one time a guy thought I like him just because I was nice to him. Says he had a girlfriend, I thought we were friends. Says I will come back. Says it doesn't work anymore. Says one time I said I have ABFA and this guy said what you can't have friends. Says his intentions were very clear though. Says like him not dumb. Says he asked me for my number and I said no. He was shocked. Says he said, no one ever said no to me. Says it sound o fuki LMAO. Says you have your pen back. Says it sound o fuki HII sound. Says I was his first rejection, I guess lol. Says it beanbag high bean. Says no, he is not in my eyes. Says it brightriclose high bry. Says it beanbag high bean. Says it sound o fuki, hope you're doing well. Says I don't think as attractive. Says it beanbag and doing well. I hope you're well. Says no, has not conventionally attractive. Says hi. Says that Emma hi. Says that sound o fuki him good. Says him good, you. Says that sound o fuki hi. Says it beanbag how's little bean sprout. Says I opened my rainbow loon container upside down and not him stuck putting them back in. Says it's rubber bands that you can make bracelets from. Says yeah. Says exactly. Says reminds me of a conversation my little cousins had 2 days ago. Says about who their celebrity crushes are. Says that man's fashion. Says wedding-themed birthday party.
Yo, oh my god, everyone was over there on YouTube Shorts. I need to get a notification to let me know that people are over there.
Says teach. Says hi. Says at Brightriclose hide Bry. Says I got a new job. Says at Chloe Collins hi Chloe. Says I just got of a 12er. Says dementia care.
Oh, yes.
Says I gotta go, it was nice talking to you. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Roses are roses, baby.
Says sorry it buffered and I didn't catch the last minute.
You misgender my Oreo. Well, fuck your Oreo. Anyway, so the point is, you said you're working in dementia, with people who have dementia, so I was like, that must be really hard to deal with because, like, they must forget you, like, almost every other day. So it must be, like, an introduction, like, almost every time. Depending on how severe the dementia is.
Raisin
Says they
underscore
can
XD.
recognize there were
Did the
staff
firming
cause the
gem
uniform
stream.
and badge. Says it's the where are we. Says or the one who thinks she owns the place or the one that punches. Says the one that punches don't really hurt. I got a lot of fat on my stomach and she isn't very strong. Says 1,157 pounds and I ran a pound extra for the overtime. Says I need Lina tip stay. Says Southeast England and it's 11 pounds and 40 for pence. Says guess who I am. Says I'm doing 6 hours on Tuesday and 12 hours on Thursday at 12:57. Says guys in literally Izuku Midoriya. Says that. Dude, I just got off a 12-hour shift and I've only had a potato to eat. Says no offense or anything, I've spent the last hour chasing someone down who keeps picking up tables. Says that. I couldn't care less. You could be King Charles. Says another guy was convinced someone was out to get him. Says okay. Says I think I might try getting a computer from a police auction. Says instead of new.
What's up, everyone? It's ANIMEART, and there's been a lot uncovered surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows and the inner workings of this game. This entire thing is filled to the brim with DEI nonsense, and I'll even prove it to you. Seriously, there's so much to go over, it's ridiculous, and one of the writers is a big fan of Sweet Baby. And one of the consultants on the game has published books pertaining to adult-on-child romances. And the Japanese player base are pissed, and that's putting it lightly. I wish I was kidding, but you'll see. Let's just get into this, cause my god, what a mess. As you likely already know, the backlash surrounding Shadows has been nothing short of nuclear. People are fighting all over the internet about this inclusion of Yasuke as a playable character. According to one senior writer at Ubisoft, Yasuke is mandatory for Shadows. This article goes into more about that from that Park Place titled, "Senior writer for Assassin's Creed Shadows declared there's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters, let's do better." The writer in question is named Giles Armstrong. Don't harass this person or anyone else, by the way, that I feature in this video. Let's just observe and then deconstruct what's going on here instead. But as if you needed confirmation, yes, Giles is a white guy who is openly renouncing his own skin color for brownie points, I guess. He's also working on Shadows, since he confirmed it himself on Twitter, where he said, "Now that Ubisoft Sofia has been confirmed as working on it, I can finally reveal I was a senior writer on Assassin's Creed Shadows, working under the guidance of Ubisoft Quebec and the excellent Alyssa. I can tell you, you're all in for a treat." Giles has also been found to say things that can be considered anti-white rhetoric, which is so overdone at this point and pathetic, but what do we expect from Western studios these days? In March 2018, Giles retweeted an image of Chadwick Boseman meeting fans outside of a Black Panther screening where he said, "Hey game devs, when I say in our meetings that representation matters, well, see for yourself. Everyone wants to see a positive version of themselves on screen. Everyone. There's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters, let's do better." Although it's not about being better, it's more so about erasure if anything else, since as many have already pointed out across the internet, Yasuke being a playable main character in a Japanese-centric Assassin's Creed game is not what many fans wanted, especially Japanese fans in particular. As Forbes said in their recent article titled, "Japanese fans are puzzled that Yasuke is in Assassin's Creed Shadows."
Says on another note, I love the new drive-thru.
The Forbes article recites Manga Lawyer as an example who compiled what some Japanese players were saying once they saw the Shadows premiere trailer, and it's, well...
Wait, was I on mute? No! Was I on mute? I think I was on mute. Oh, we gotta redo this whole thing again. So, with this said, guys, for those who don't know, this is a... I have to cut this off. With ANIMEART, this is from ANIMEART. This is Assassin's Creed Shadows woke Sweet Baby agendas expose Japanese players reject the woke. I mean, reject Yasuke. I was about to say Yusuke. I'm thinking of what is it called? Yu Yu Hakusho. But yeah, this is basically the woke eating itself in a sense. So we'll see what it's about. Sorry about this. I have to replay this because I didn't know I was on mute.
What's up, everyone? It's ANIMEART, and there's been a lot uncovered surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows and the inner workings of this game. This entire thing is filled to the brim with DEI nonsense, and I'll even prove it to you. Seriously, there's so much to go over, it's ridiculous, and one of the writers is a big fan of Sweet Baby. And one of the consultants on the game has published books pertaining to adult-on-child romances. And the Japanese player base are pissed,
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
putting it lightly. I wish I was kidding, but you'll see. Let's just get into this, cause my god, what a mess. As you likely already know, the backlash surrounding Shadows has been nothing short of nuclear. People are fighting all over the internet about this inclusion of Yasuke as a playable character. According to one senior writer at Ubisoft, Yasuke is mandatory for Shadows. This article goes into more about that from that Park Place titled, Senior writer for Assassin's Creed Shadows declared, there's more than enough games out there with white men as the only playable characters, let's do better. The writer in question is named Giles Armstrong. Don't harass this person or anyone else, by the way, that I feature in this video. Let's just observe and then deconstruct what's going on here instead.
Why is the focus on the white guy? Should it be focused on the Japanese person? I don't understand that. It's weird.
But as if you needed confirmation, yes, Giles is a white guy who is openly renouncing his own skin color for brownie points, I guess. He's also working on Shadows since he confirmed it himself on Twitter, where he said, now that Ubisoft Sofia has been confirmed as working on it, I can finally reveal I was a senior writer on Assassin's Creed Shadows, working under the guidance of Ubisoft Quebec and the excellent Alyssa. I can tell you, you're all in for a treat. Giles has also been found to say things that can be considered anti-white rhetoric, which is so overdone at this point and pathetic, but what do we expect from Western studios these days? In March 2018, Giles retweeted an image of Chadwick Boseman meeting fans outside of a Black Panther screening where he said, "Hey game devs, when I say in our meetings that representation matters, well, see for yourself. Everyone wants to see a positive version of themselves on screen. Everyone. There's more than enough games."
We give you access to more than 1,600 milling and turning machines locally and globally. You can choose from more than 60 production-grade materials and plastics. Over the
out there with white men as the only playable characters, let's do better. Although it's not about being better, it's more so about erasure if anything else, since as many have already pointed out across the internet, Yasuke being a playable main character in a Japanese-centric Assassin's Creed game is not what many fans wanted, especially Japanese fans in particular. As Forbes said in their recent article titled, Japanese fans are puzzled that Yasuke is in Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Forbes article recites Manga Lawyer as an example who compiled what some Japanese players were saying once they saw the Shadows premiere trailer, and it's, well, I'll let them speak for themselves. One user said, a game where black people massacre Japanese people in the Sengoku period is a perfect example of Ubisoft. Is this what happens with political correctness?
Bro! Oh man, it's eating itself.
Is taken to the extreme. Let's stop here for a second because what this user said is absolutely correct. It's very tone deaf and telling of the games industry that they're celebrating someone like Yasuke being in Shadows, yet his inclusion and what he's doing within that game is the same thing that they complain about when it comes to other games like Resident Evil 5. In Resi 5, you play as Chris Redfield, who's obviously white in Africa
wild.
shooting zombies that are obviously black in order to protect himself. This is apparently racist in the eyes of places like IGN and The Gamer, and even according to people like Jacksepticeye, Resident Evil 5 can't be remade because it's inherently racist and problematic.
How?
And because of the cultural dissonance of a white man in Africa where he's not from shooting black people, this somehow means that the game should never be remade, but instead be completely changed in every way if a remake is decided to happen. On the flip side, we have Yasuke, who is exactly like Chris Redfield in terms of position. He's a black man in Japan, where he obviously doesn't originate from. And he's shown in the trailer to be cutting down Japanese men like they're nothing more than bamboo branches standing in the way of his mission. So why is it that when Chris Redfield is protecting himself from not becoming a zombie against black zombies, and he's in Africa, which is predominantly inhabited by black people, that is somehow problematic? Yet a black man slicing Japanese men without remorse is not only okay, but glorified as well. It's a double standard of the highest degree is what it is, and there's no excusing that. Based on this alone, Shadows having Yasuke doing what he's doing is technically racist within itself if we are applying the same logic that they have with Resident Evil 5 and Chris.
He's right.
But of course, it's only racist in Resi 5's case because Chris is a white man, therefore he is seen as some sort of cultural appropriating predator because of his skin color. Yet Yasuke is fine because he's a black man, even though if we compare the two, Yasuke is literally wearing the armor of the people that he slays without remorse. How is it that Yasuke is fine, but Chris is racist? It's ridiculous, and this is what this user is saying, although of course I expanded their logic to further explain it here, but you get what I mean. If we're going to be crying and pissing ourselves because Resi 5 is racist apparently, then the same people should keep that energy with Shadows. But it's simply because, ultimately, Shadows stars a black man, whereas Resi 5 has a white guy. I guarantee you, if Shadows starred William Adams, who was a white man that established trade routes in Japan, and it was the same trailer and everything, just a white guy instead, these same publications would cry racism and say that it's cultural appropriation.
Yep.
They're hypocrites is what it is ultimately, and I'm sick of seeing it. Here's more of what other users in the post said, like, "The sword is in the wrong position, it's no good to have it open at your side." So Ubisoft apparently doesn't even understand sword placement in terms of traditional Japanese weapons. Well, it gets even worse. I wanted Yasuke to appear as an ally. Are they mocking Japan? They should have made someone like Saizo Kirigakakuri, I said that wrong, but whatever, an assassin. By the way, that Saizo guy is a fictional character in Japanese mythology that was considered one of the greatest ninjas in Japanese folklore.
Damn.
He's akin to Japanese mythology the same way Thor is for Nordic people. Another of the 10 ninjas in Japanese myth is Sasuke, who I don't need to tell you how many characters in modern media have used the name Sasuke or Saizo before. Look at Naruto alone. Another user then said, "It's a bit disappointing.
Is that really what? Wait, what? Go back. What?
Named Sasuke, an assassin." By the way, that Saizo guy is a fictional character in Japanese mythology that was considered one of the greatest ninjas in Japanese folklore. He's akin to Japanese mythology the same way Thor is for Nordic people. Another of the 10 ninjas in Japanese myth is Sasuke, who I don't need to tell you how many characters in modern media have used the name Sasuke or Saizo before. Look at Naruto alone. Another user then said, "It's a bit disappointing. I wanted to play as a Japanese ninja. It's my favorite game since I started with Syndicate and have played everything, so this is sad. But this next one is oof," and it says, "I don't think there are any Japanese people supervising the architecture. It's Chinese and filled with lanterns, torii gates, and paper lanterns, so it doesn't feel like this."
LMAO.
This is funny.
I think the Shogun stands out after the good examples in the drama, so Ubisoft is being called out by actual Japanese players for not only pandering by including Yasuke, but they also apparently can't get weapon positions right or the architecture either. You know it's bad when Japanese players can watch one trailer and immediately say, "Hey Ubisoft, your game is full of Chinese architecture, not Japanese." Good lord, this is a mess, man. You can tell this...
Bro, this is the Spider-Man problem again. This is what they did to Miles Morales, saying that he was Puerto Rican or something like that. I think it was Puerto Rican. He's black and Puerto Rican, right? But they put the Cuban flag in his room. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, come on, man. You guys had one job. Damn. One!
This was made by liberal white people who know nothing about anything.
Yep.
But simply saw a black guy mentioned once in Japanese stories and
just
went,
ran with
"That's
that.
our
Yes.
ticket to DEI fame."
Yep.
Manga Lawyer on Twitter compiled even
Yep,
more...
that's the scariest part. They'll hear one thing. That's why you don't give them any ideas. They hear one thing and they run with it. And they don't like shit.
Comments by Japanese players that said stuff like, "It may have existed in real life, but when a foreigner like this appears in a historical drama-like world, it just seems like a gag. This sense of discomfort is like seeing a Japanese person appear at the Boston Tea Party." And they're right, but it gets worse because another one said, "Up until now, the main characters have been the original local races and ethnic groups. But why did they become different races when it comes to Japan? This person is completely right, by the way. Every other time it's been the case except now." And then this one is the zinger, which said, "For the first time I understood what cultural appropriation was." Oh man, do I feel for Japanese players. They waited so long to see an Assassin's Creed game set in their homeland, and then Ubisoft took the piss and ruined them for DEI brownie points. Of course, some people are trying to play gotchas in this situation, saying, well, why wasn't anyone angry about Edward Kenway in Assassin's Creed 4? He's a white guy in the Caribbean. Even one user who I'm like 99% sure is the same person who painted those Warhammer figurines into various gender flags. Anyway, they said this on Twitter. Game set in the Caribbean, play as a Welshman. I wonder why that one wasn't included. Yeah, I can answer that, by the way. The reason why it isn't included is because during the golden age of piracy, the actual notorious pirates of that time were predominantly European people. We're talking Irish, Welsh, which is what Edward Kenway is, by the way, English, and even French. The pirates of that time were using the Caribbean as their playground, but of course I don't expect woke weirdos to know anything about history anyways.
Yeah.
Most of these people only know what their equally woke school teachers and professors told them, which is largely just a tailored version of history. They probably also think that Cleopatra was indeed a black woman too, because diversity. But no, the pirates that roamed the seas attacking British and French ships during the age of piracy were not black, even though it was set in the Caribbean. There's a reason why the French and British armies were having so much trouble with these pirates. It's because the pirates knew how they operated, their trade route.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think majority of those pirates were ex-military, I believe. I think there was like ex-military individuals. So they like ex-army or ex-soldiers from way back when. So they knew how they kind of knew how to fight, and they knew how to deal with certain tactical ways of getting around them sometimes, because they were like ex-army or ex-military or something like that.
And use weaponry and tactics of equal standing because they came from the same places as those same government officials. My god, I can't believe I need to explain basic history
I
like
just
this,
said
but I
it!
shouldn't be surprised anymore these days. So using Edward Kenway as some sort of gotcha against Yasuke is moronic, so just stop. Please wear a helmet, because clearly your brain is already damaged enough, and while we're at it again, stop using Neo as some sort of gotcha as well. The game is literally about fighting demons and summoning spirit animals that come out of your soul to kill stuff. I hate it here sometimes, but nothing really brings out the stupidity in the online community like a good controversy does it. It is sad and pathetic that Ubisoft has decided to culturally appropriate Japanese players' heritage in the name of woke diversity points. Every other game has featured an assassin from that region of the world, even Valhalla, which predominantly takes place in England, starts in Norway with their Viking Assassin 2 at least, but here it's just let's throw everything out and pander. Another one of the writers is someone named Mossenmind on Twitter. Also, don't harass this person, by the way. They're apparently the lead writer on Ask Creed Shadows, and they work and operate within Quebec City. Fans have pointed out that if you look at her follows, she does indeed follow Sweet Baby Inc., which makes sense, honestly, given the state of Shadows. Their influence can be felt all throughout the game's announcement. Need I remind you that Sweet Bing Bong Baby also operates within Quebec as well. And the founders of the baby originally met working at Ubisoft, so it's one gigantic echo chamber, but it's funny how whenever things get made these days, they always think that you need a person who looks like someone to write or direct the thing, kinda like how Black Panther as a movie had a bunch of black individuals working on it. Even though Black Panther was made by two white guys in a small room smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey. Anyway, this Alyssa person is clearly not a black person. So
ain't that something? Tell that to yourself. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Two white guys in a small room drinking whiskey, wrote about Wakanda. But we have to look the same. We have to be the same.
Why are they writing a story about Yasuke and Naoe? This is clearly racist, Ubisoft. I can't believe this. You have to do better because racism, I guess. Not to mention, if we circle back to the other senior writer, that Giles Armstrong guy, he unironically said things like this in the past. Game Devs of Color Expo said back in 2020, several non-black game devs and artists have offered to mentor and assist black game devs and artists with their career. If you want to help, please reply to this thread, and if you're a black game dev who needs support, share your work. To which white savior Giles Armstrong replied by saying, "Thanks for kicking this off. Game writing is a tough field even with all the privilege of being a cis white male. Based on how very few black game writers I see, I can only imagine how much harder it must be. For advice on game writing and portfolio pieces, I'm here." Thank you, Giles Armstrong.
You sound like
for
a
being
white
the
savior. You sound like a you sound like a white savior. I just fuck.
You are.
Yes, you sound like a white savior. That you sound wild. You sound so condescending. I'm dead serious. You sound condescending as shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. you know what? The funniest thing about that statement, it makes him sound like a god amongst men by denouncing the gods amongst men. It's like, oh god, I want to mention what it is, but it's just too bizarre to mention. But like, oh god. So like, okay, there's this show called You, right? It's really hard to get into to get the point across, but it's technically a dude who You is a show about, I think his name is Beck or Peck. I forgot his name is Glenn Peck or something. He gets obsessed with women and stuff like that because he's a stalker type dude, and he justifies things in his head on why he should protect the women that's around him in the sense of the women that he has interest in. But he's just a stalker crazy guy. Season, I think 3, not even 2, because there's season 1, 2, and 3. In season 3, I can't say what happens to season 1 and 3, but let's just say he goes to, I think it was somewhere in England, I believe. And he ends up making friends with some aristocrat people who have money and have fame. Some of them are influencers, whatever the case may be. And there's a particular character in the show who has a kink fetish where he likes to get golden showers from people because his thing is that he gets turned on the fact that he gets golden showers from people who are less than him. So he has lots of money, right? He's one of those dudes who has a lot of money and likes to be shamed by people who are lesser than him that doesn't have as much money as he does. So if you have $1 million and you make like $100,000 a year, he wants you to give him a golden shower based on that because you don't make as much as he does, right? This take is no different from that because it's like, okay, I'm being a white savior to y'all. Hey, Stan, we're being a white savior to y'all. So I'm going to denounce myself to make you guys get bigged up for myself.
Humiliation kink?
Yeah, it's a humiliation kink. It's a humiliation ritual. That's what it is. Thank you. That's perfect. See, this is why you're my mod, Bri. I know how to pick him. But, he has a humiliation kink. So his thing is, as long as you don't make as much as him, he gets off on the fact that you give him golden showers. That's the point of the character from that show. Now, if you make as much as he does or more, he doesn't get turned on. That's how it works in that show. That it's a wild thing. It's a wild thing, but it's a thing. It was the most bizarro thing I ever came across, but now I know what a humiliation kink was when I actually watched the show with the girlfriend. It's really funny, to be honest, but then again, it's extremely sad at the same time. It's like Simps. It's like the same as Simps. Like dudes who send money to OF girls and then think that's their girlfriend or something when it's never their girlfriend. You're never gonna meet them. They're never gonna hang out with you. They're never gonna be around you. You're just their pay pick. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. It's a strange humiliation kink, nonetheless, if you think of it in that sense, right? So it's funny for this dude to say, I will denounce my whiteness because I get privileges. And I'm going to big up you simpleton minorities. Because, I am a god amongst men. And I'm trying to make you feel good to make you feel great about yourself. But low-key, I'm just saying this to make myself feel great. So you sound like a white savior. You sound like an asshole. Like, straight up. That's what that sounds like to me. This is why I don't like the ESG thing. It makes people condescendingly asshole. It makes them into assholes in that sense. You just sound like a condescending prick. It is what it is.
Black game devs in the industry ever hope to accomplish anything without your guiding white hand? Everybody, please, a round of applause for Giz Armstrong.
Yeah, like literally.
Savior Gills Armstrong replied by saying, "Thanks for kicking this off. Game writing is a tough field even with all the privilege of being a cis white male. Based on how very few black game writers I see, I can only imagine how much harder it must be. For advice on game writing and portfolio pieces, I'm here."
I'm here. Listen to that. I'm here. You All Might now? You come save me? You know what I'm saying? That sounds condescending as shit. That's pretty much saying that you can't do this without me. I'm gonna protect you. And just you alone because I'm your savior. I'm your Jesus Christ.
Armstrong for being the white savior you are. How could the black game devs in the industry ever hope to accomplish anything without your guiding white hand?
Yes.
Everybody, please, a round of applause for Geese
Raiga
Armstrong.
Samurai. I am here.
I am here. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what that was. It's wild.
After all, he is the enemy. He's a straight white male. So he's basically Satan incarnate, but at least he's willing to help out those he sees beneath him. It's pathetic, by the way, that people like Geese and others treat black people like this. They don't need your help.
They
Stop
don't.
treating them like they're beneath you or
Yes.
something. I can only imagine how much harder it must be to be a black game dev. Really, Geels? Are you really going to pull that card? If you ever needed an example of the blatant racist undertones of many woke weirdos working in gaming, this is a prime example.
Yes, they're very condescending. And they're usually liberal and progressive. And then if you go anything against their narrative, they will condescendingly call you names. To the very people that they're trying to save. Remember that. Remember that.
Stop looking at other people regardless of skin color or gender as somehow being beneath you or needing your help, otherwise they can't succeed. Black people can succeed without your white...
He said, why content of character is not a... I don't know. You're right. I don't know why.
White savior complex. It's disgusting. Stop looking at other people as less or weaker because of the color of their skin. It's insane that I need to say this, but I guess I have to. The white savior complex is strong after all. Look at the video they released following Shadow's announcement where two white game devs tell you how inspiring it was to have Yasuke be their main character. The trailer has game director Charles Benoit and associate narrative director Brooke Davies, and here's what they had to say about their white savior complex within Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I quote, "With our dual protagonists, we have two fantasies, the samurai and the shinobi. We want the player to experience both. And we cannot squeeze both fantasies into one character because the samurai and shinobi come from different social classes. They have different lives, so we cannot really mix them together. The historical character of Yasuke presented a really exciting opportunity for the narrative
UPOC
team.
Needs special exemptions in order to make it.
You know what's funny? How is it hard to have these two classes not work together, but you can have the one outsider from the country work?
Stan.
You know what I'm saying?
Or DEI.
I hate DEI. I hate it all. ESG, DEI, I think is dangerous. I think it's stupid. I think it causes a behavior that shouldn't be, and it makes people into hateful individuals secretly down in the most covert way ever.
In the same way that so much of the work is done in Assassin's Creed, which is really in terms of research and history first. Not a lot is known about him, but what we did know, or what we do know, is that he arrived in Japan in 1579 right when our game starts, and that he had relationships with some of the most interesting people in our setting like Oda Nobunaga, the Portuguese, and Jesuits, which made it very sort of tantalizing and enticing from a narrative perspective to come in and start weaving these facts with story in between. The more we read that about the character, the more he was inspiring for us.
Who is
He's
talking
a foreigner
LOL?
discovering
That is Demion. That's the video that we're using to do the reaction to
Japan, and we thought it's the perfect fit because he's discovering Japan and you are discovering Japan also. And on the flip side, we have Naoe, who comes from the province of Iga, which is a remote mountainous area fiercely independent and known as the birthplace of shinobi. So they're very contrasting perspectives that really expose a lot of different sides and facets of the era. When Oda came, he completely destroyed Iga. You have Yasuke and Oda. They are coming to destroy the shinobi, so it kind of created this interesting tension between two characters. We were able to connect her to the province of Iga in the legendary Igan shinobi historical figure Fujibayashi Nagato, who's her father in the game. So we understand why she has the skills that she has and the values that she learns from her father and the people of Iga, which are valor, benevolence, and wisdom. And as a young person still at the start of the game, we get to see Naoe acquire even more of that wisdom as the story unfolds, end quote. So instead of actually letting the historical figures be who they are within this setting, like Fujibayashi Nagato, who is one of the legendary Iga shinobi, you instead get to play his gender-bent fake daughter who does everything he does, but she's a woman.
Oh shit! It's a gender-bent fake daughter. So he had a son. So they made them a female. Wow! What talk about fucking up history, huh? Damn! You can't trust the progressive. It's the most worst thing in the oh god, you can't trust them. They'll be quick to say, we need to make Ariel
Stan.
accurate to the Caribbean.
Like She-Hulk.
Yeah, like She-Hulk. Like you can't trust him. You can't trust. Think about it. They said the same. That dude said the same thing about Ariel, right? It has to be so accurate, but it was not accurate based on the Prince Adam's family. His dad, who's given the century they're in, his dad from the European got with this black woman from Africa. That don't make no sense.
Yes.
The fuck? That doesn't make any sense. That's one. Then two, it's like, when it comes to any other thing that has to do with white or Asian people, it can be bended or changed whenever it wants to be. But when it comes to other minorities, it has to be consistent all the way. If consistent.
So DEI score goes burr, I guess. I don't know. And Yasuke, of course, is their other trump card, and according to them, Yasuke is killing and mowing down Japanese people like cattle, and that's totally fine because diversity and whatnot. Doesn't make any sense as to why Yasuke and Naoe would team up if the first time they meet, he's literally killing her friends and family without remorse. Like, the dude is mowing people down like they're nothing, and she's like, hell yeah, I want to team up with this guy. Sure,
Yeah,
that makes a lot of
that's
sense.
the first thing
What's
I
also
hear when I
hilarious
come
is
and watch
another
your
user
profanity.
wanted to see if
MR.
ChatGPT could accurately tell if Naoe was a woman or not, and the results are chef kiss, to put it lightly. Here's what ChatGPT said when asked, is this character male or female, to which it replied, the character in the image has androgynous features, making it difficult to definitively determine their gender based on appearance alone.
Oh
the
my
character's
god.
hairstyle, clothing, and expression do not provide clear gender indicators. The character could be male, female, or non-binary. Context from the source material would be needed to determine the character's gender accurately. So there you have it. Not even AI can tell if Ubisoft's gender-bent female Fujibayashi Iga ninja is even a woman or not.
Oh
But to
my
show you how
god.
badly Western ideals have fallen, the same user then put Tali from Mass Effect, who, by the way, is a literal alien who wears an exosuit to hide their appearance, and here's what ChatGPT had to say about that. Based on the visual cues and body shape in the image, the character appears to have a feminine physique. The design elements, such as the narrow—
Wait, hold up. It can figure out what an alien is, but it can't figure out what a human is? When it's covered in shit? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
waist, the curvature of the hips, and the overall silhouette
Bro, are you
commonly
kidding me?
associated with female character designs in various forms of media. However, without additional
Bullshit.
context, this is just an interpretation based on visual characteristics. You know it's bad when AI can accurately scan a picture of a fictional alien and go, yeah, this is a woman, but when given an actual human being made by modern Western devs, the AI is like,
I
yeah,
don't know.
we got nothing, bro. Just crazy, dude. And beyond that, who the hell helped write this game? Well,
Now
this
that makes you kind of think. Is the AI totally on its own when it's making these responses, or someone's putting shit in it? It makes you think.
story is just, oh boy. Okay, so IGN recently posted an article about people who helped bring Shadows to life. By the way, the game is called Shadows and stars a black man. I mean, come on, but let's keep going. One of the people involved directly with Shadows, and they also spoke to IGN, is someone named Sachi Schmidt-Hori, who is apparently a professor of Japanese literature. They praised Yasuke and all of that and gave the kind of
Stan.
answer Ubisoft would want.
Wait.
They tweak the responses.
Wait.
Because, you know, public.
Hold up. Okay.
Relations and all of that. What's really weird is that this Professor Hori person is known for a book they published that is titled, and I can't believe this is real, Tales of Idolized Boys, Male Love, and Medieval Japanese Buddhist Narratives. Yeah,
What?
you heard that right, that's a real book that somebody made. What's the book about exactly? Well, let's read the synopsis, and I quote, in medieval Japan, 14th to 16th centuries, it was customary for elite families to entrust their young sons to the care of renowned Buddhist priests, from whom they received a premier education in Buddhist scriptures, poetry, music, and dance.
Okay.
When the
Red licorice or black licorice? I say both. Oh, you think you've had licorice?
Shut up.
boys reached adolescence, some underwent coming-of-age rites, others entered the priesthood, and several extended their education, became Chigo or Buddhist acolytes. Chigo served their masters as personal attendants and as sexual partners.
Oh my
During
god.
religious ceremonies adorned in
Stan.
colorful robes, their faces
Did they
made
diddle
up
the
and hair
kids like the
styled in long
ancient Greeks?
Yes.
ponytails, they entertained local donors and pilgrims with music and dance. Stories of acolytes from the 14th to 16th centuries form the basis of the present volume. An original and detailed literary analysis of 6 tales coupled with a thorough examination of the socio-political, religious, and cultural matrices that produce these texts. Sachi Schmidt Hori begins by delineating various dimensions of Chigo, the Chigo title, personal names, gender, sexuality, class, politics, and religiosity, to show the complexity of this cultural construct of Chigo as a triple liminal figure who is neither male nor female, child nor adult, human nor deity. A modern reception history of Chigo Monogatari follows, revealing not surprisingly that the tales have often been interpreted through cultural paradigms rooted in historical moments and worldviews far removed from the original. From the 1950s to 80s, research on Chigo was hindered by widespread
Why was
homophobic
diddling
prejudice.
little boys so
More
popular
recent
throughout ancient
aversion to
history? WTF?
You know why? I think I know why. It's harder to believe compared to a female. I think that's what it is. It's like this. Okay, it's like this. If this is why I'm assuming. If a dude were to, let me see. So like it's like the locker room thing. Like if a dude goes to a locker room, a boys, no one thinks of it because he's also a male too. So technically he's a boy, right? But if a dude goes to like a girl's bathroom,
or because of misogyny,
probably it is. But like I'm saying, like to a certain extent, it's like it's hard to believe because a lot of boys don't really mention them being assaulted by another dude because it's usually people see them as a certain way, so most dudes keep it quiet. And it's like it's the best way to demoralize a man is to take away his manhood, and the best way to demoralize him is that's the best way to demoralize a boy, to effeminize him as best as possible. That's usually what most straight males do. Whenever a straight male is, or usually most heterosexual males are usually trying to engage in combat, or not in combat, but in like insulting wise, they always talk about how less of a man they are compared to them. It happens a lot in rap.
Or they get laughed at.
Or they get laughed
at. They put things in the water that make the friggin' frogs gay.
But like the point is like it's like that. So like it's easier to, because like women do all the time too. Like let's use an example. So like if a dude says something that most women won't like, they'll just say his sword is too small, or something like that. That's usually what they go to because it's demoralizing him as a man. That's the first thing you do. I think in slavery times, whenever they had like a certain slave, if they wanted to break them, they'll have them have sex with the slave. I think it's called
I'm back.
I think it's called horse breaking or something. It's breaking the men's spirit to fight back. So the best way to fight back, to break their spirit, is to demoralize them as far as possible. So like to make them into like less of a man. That's usually what it was, back in the day, within I think slavery time. They'll actually have sex with the slave of the men, so they won't fight back because they're just too,
samurai. Buck breaking.
Yeah, there you go. Buck breaking. There you go.
The age gap in historical master-accolade relations has prevented scholars from analyzing the religious and political messages underlying the genre.
And obedient.
So I think that's what that is. And plus, it's a forbidden. It's also considered a forbidden fruit to do and talk about, right? So that's why when young boys back then, whether it was like, no matter what of country you was from, if you were to bring up that your priest or your superior did you something like that, you will be met with such anger and frustration, like just almost opposition almost instantly. Whether it be family or friends, they will, because it's so unheard of for that to happen or talk about.
Have you seen the Flash Gets Anime Heaven cartoon?
Let me see. Have you seen the Flash I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'm not too familiar with
Stan. Or the Mulan
Says
parody.
reactions.
Yes, I'm doing reactions right now. As I'm doing your thing. The Mulan parody. No, I don't think I have. I gotta go check it out later.
Where it calls for a shift in the strategies applied to Chico and Chigo Monogatari, and puts forth both a nuanced historization of social constructs such as gender, sexuality, age, and agency, and a mode of reading propelled by curiosity and introspection, end quote. You heard that right. The lady Ubisoft hired to help write and oversee the story of Shadows has chronicled the history of old man monks who slept with their child proteges. And more so than that, this Professor Hori wants to normalize the discussion surrounding this concept and make it more acceptable.
Make it more acceptable? Oh, hell no! I told you these wokies are insane. They tried to I told you, it's just like the Warhammer thing. This is just like the Warhammer thing. I told you guys this. They use it as a Trojan horse to talk about females to slip in what they really want.
Like maps.
Yes. Yes, it's to slip in and destigmatize this nonsense. I told you, once they brought up the Warhammer thing and they started talking about women, it's not about women. We all know what it's truly about. And it came faster than I thought. And it's now in Assassin's Creed. Well, not in Assassin's Creed, but there's a writer who's okay with this. And they're trying to destigmatize this.
When they realized that these old man monks quite literally recruited and groomed young children into their carers and slaves.
Stan.
And she thinks it's
Erode the
homophobic and
fabric of
prejudiced that
reality
forbids this from
given to the chaos gods. Stan. Heresy.
Heresy.
Normalize the discussion surrounding this concept and make it more acceptable. She thinks people have the wrong mentality when they realize that these old man monks quite literally recruited and groomed young children into their carers and slaves. And she thinks it's homophobic and
I bet you if you look into her background, she was probably a victim. I bet you if you go into her past, somewhere down the line she was victimized. And try to justify it in her head, and now she's trying to justify it to the world. I bet you, if anything, anyone with a brain would think, this is not right. This don't sound right. This don't sound right. This don't sound right.
And prejudice that forbids this from being more widespread and normalized.
Oh my
Dear
God.
Professor Hori, no. Just no, sorry, but you're never going to make me be okay with child and adult relations in a romantic manner. I don't care how you word it or try to dance around the topic, it's creepy as hell and
Unresolved and internalized trauma.
Yep.
Weird no matter how we splice it. Those monks are weirdos, the children they abused are victims, and you're a weirdo for trying to normalize it.
Yes,
and
that's
you probably
wild.
read these documents and realize that you could swindle the history in a way to prop yourself up as some scholar by interweaving it with identity politics. And now, clearly because of your work about old monks touching children, you've secured yourself a consulting job on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I swear to God, if there's a quest in the game where you have to save some little monk boy and bring it back to his predator old man monk mentor, I'll become the Joker. There's nothing we should be normalizing about any of this.
That's funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was a good specific side mission. I swear, I gotta hear that. That's funny.
Documents and realize that you could swindle the history in a way to prop yourself up as some
That's
scholar
funny.
by interweaving it with identity politics.
It's evil, but it's funny.
And now, clearly because of your work
That
about
is
old
funny.
monks touching children, you've secured yourself a consulting job on Assassin's Creed Shadows. I swear to God, if there's a quest in the game where you have to save some little monk boy and bring it back to his predator old man monk mentor, I'll become the Joker. There's nothing we should be normalizing about any of this. Stop trying to make adult-child relations something that we should see as normal.
That is
Children cannot
weird.
consent under any circumstance, and the more these people try to push that narrative, the more blatantly weird and creepy it becomes. History was right to silence and not want to normalize that particular slice of history because it's freaking weird. Next, you're going to tell me that other victims had it coming too when it came to history or something. Just no. She even further explains herself in her own academic profile as, I am interested in investigating how gender, sexuality, corporeality, and power are
OMG,
represented
it
and
looks so
negotiated in pre-17th century Japanese narratives and illustrations. My first book, Tales of Idolized Boys, Male Love and Medieval Japanese Narratives, University of Hawaii Press 2021, is on medieval Chigo Monogatari.
You do notice who's pushing this, right? It's females. You know this, right? You see who's pushing this more than anyone, more hard than any. It's the female. This is why I find it very strange when most women in anime, or women who like anime, like writing about boys love shit all day. It's very fucking weird because they'll sit there and be like, these men are attractive. Let me make these two males do things to each other. But they won't do anything with the attractive males that they claim they're pushing together. Why is this? Because remember, think about this. No matter how much two women of the other side of the fence...
changing the black to purple. Even I forgot.
Yes, it was purple.
Stan. It's people that don't have work to fill their free time.
Yes, it has to, or these just traumatized people. Because think of it in this sense, like, if a dude were, like, okay, most dudes will watch girls on the other side of the fence do things to each other because they can't touch them. 9 times out of 10. Because they cannot touch them because they won't allow them to. So they'll watch from a distance, or watch from their, from their computers, if you get what I'm saying. So if those same women said, hey, you want to join us? 9 times out of 10, most men will say yes. There'll be some weirdos who actually want to just watch because, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, they're probably inept somewhere. But like, 9 times out of 10, most dudes will say, yeah, I'm going to join in. But for some odd reason, when two women are watching two dudes go on, and those two dudes were to ask her, do you want to join us? She'll usually say no. Why is this? That's very weird. Why would you watch this, but you don't want to engage at all? Very weird. That's why I'm very, very kind of off when women do the whole My Hero Academia thing and pushing teenage boys to do things with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have, like, the Kirishimas, the Bakugos, and then anyone else out, the Midoriyas with the Bakugos and the Midoriyas with the Kirishimas, and then it just, and then some of them will be writing All Might and, Deku. It's very strange. And they're usually coming from females. Not even males half the time. It's usually females. Very weird. Don't know why.
Buddhist acolyte tales, which often depict romantic relationships between Buddhist priests and adolescent boys. These tales challenge a host of normative...
And it's not always older women. It's just mainly any type of woman in most cases. It's like any age of woman. It's very weird. I don't know what's the strange obsession with women writing men to do things with each other. I'd hardly see most women talk about women with women. Very rarely.
And moral standards we academics especially internalize, including such ideas as sexual orientation, transgenerational sex, and sexual agency. My current project is on the literary representation.
Just women.
Let me see.
Make guys kiss as a goof.
Isn't half of the writers of... I'm not sure, to be honest. That's something you gotta look up. I'm not sure. I don't have no statistics or numbers on that one. I really don't know.
Stan. I mean, a man writing this would be gay.
9 times out of 10, yes.
Of milk
but women like this wouldn't. And the sad thing, women like this who's writing this will be straight and have no problem with what they're saying. But a man who's writing this who is straight, they'll just suspect he's gay. And just creepy.
Japanese tales. What the hell is male kinship? God damn it, now I gotta Google this. I'm gonna be put on a list because of the weird stuff I gotta Google because of these people. Okay, apparently male kinship is an Islamic belief that it creates a bond between a woman and her non-biological child. Wait, what?
What?
She's writing a book about people breastfeeding babies that aren't theirs?
I mean, I could, but why would I?
Why are you like this, Professor Weirdo? Just why? Good God, man. First, it's about child predators. Now
no, what it is, it's sexual deviancy hidden with the idea of academia. They're just sophisticated predators. That's what this is. It's the sophistication of predators. That's ultimately what this is. It's just a smart predator who's in academia using their knowledge and their training mixed in with their deviancy. That's ultimately what this is. Because look at back when in early 2000, 2003, 2004, 2005, I think up to 6, when they was doing the catch a predator thing, most of them was not that smart.
Point of authority.
Yeah, if they use so what they'll perfect example stand like they'll use their point of authority, their education, their know-how and stuff as a viable method to get to where they want to be, to push the things that because they know they can't just push it normally to anyone. So what they'll do is try to normalize it as small as possible because they rather take the long wait out, they'll wait long through it, they wait long throughout the whole push till they get to where they need to be. It's kind of like that episode or that show, I forgot what it's called, with the dude who can go back in time. From that anime, it was an anime about a dude who can go back in time, and he goes back in time to stop the killer who killed his I guess his friend, or he saved her from getting killed by her mom or something, by their mom. You know what I'm talking about. If you guys know what he wears glasses.
Stan.
He went back as a kid.
Pedophilia is so widespread online.
Oh, it's very much wide. It's either widespread or covert.
Raiga Samurai. Erased.
Erased. They're erased. That's what it's about. What? What did I do now? Hold on. It's
Stan.
erased because, like,
I said a bad word.
I don't know, black. What did I do now? Hey, I didn't say anything. No.
I started to imply my traditional drawing techniques to my digital drawing, and it looks so much better.
What? I didn't say anything. Oh my god. Yes, appeal it.
What happened?
Saying I have hate speech. You can't say anything with no common sense.
YT algorithm.
Fucking stupid. Some idiot in here came in and made a complaint because he's a bitch. Them, she, or he is a bitch. Anyway, the point is, what I'm saying is that they're using
TikTok being.
Yeah, TikTok being TikTok. I'm glad you guys are losing your fucking platform.
TikTok?
Anyway, so the point here is that
Brew.
I know it happens. It's not the first time this has happened. The point of what I'm saying is this: is that they're using their point of authority, like what Stan said, to do what they want because they can't do what they please at a normal state, so they have to push it. No, I'm under review. We'll see, because I didn't say anything. I didn't write anything, so we'll see. I'm under restriction, so I'll have to wait. It'll probably fix itself. See, this is why you gotta be very careful when you're talking these stupid apps. I hope your fucking TikTok platform goes down the bridge. Inclusive my ass.
I hope you don't get banned again.
I hope I don't either, because I'm gonna make a stink about that.
Are you drawing a chibi?
Yeah, no, it has nothing. Yes, I'm drawing a chibi. But that's not why I got in trouble. They said hate speech. I'm like, hate speech? The fuck? I'm like, bro, this is not hate speech. I'm making common sense arguments about people who are trying to push this insane shit onto children, and that shit makes no sense. Anyone who thinks this is okay is wild. That you're a wild individual. It's common sense. Hold on. Anyway, play this.
It's about breastfeeding kids that aren't even yours. What is Ubisoft doing
Common
over there?
sense
Seriously.
is hate speech. You
Does
are
anybody
missing the
vet
point
these
D.
people before they hire them? Am I crazy in thinking that this stuff is insane? Apparently this milk kinship thing was done back in the day to make the child become more at home, I guess, with a second family. So if the first family that the kid originates from was killed or whatever disaster fell upon them, they would feel at home with the second mother of another family. I don't know about you, but I don't think kids need to be sucking on the badonkadonks of family friends to feel welcomed in their households. Maybe that's just me, but seems like a pretty weird custom. Can we move on from this milk drinking point? This is just awkward at this point for everybody involved. Look, I don't know what the hell Ubisoft is smoking over there, but it's clear they found the weirdest Japanese professor of gender studies they could, and this makes me even more unhopeful that this game will be awful. You've pissed off legions of Japanese Assassin's Creed fans already with this. Every trailer for this game in every language has been disliked into oblivion. And not only that, but Ubisoft is pushing Shadows as some single-player live service nonsense all over again. Like, look at this, man. Look at all the special editions they got. Early access, DLC, expansions, play it with your subscription, etc. Like, why are you turning Assassin's Creed into this? Why is it that every other game pretty much respected their time periods and gave players what they wanted for the most part? Yet when it comes to one of the most highly requested eras of the franchise, you pull this. If it isn't turning Oda Nobunaga's buddy into some make-believe samurai Terminator that's mowing down Japanese people, it's milk kinships and child predators and just more being normalized. My god. This whole thing stinks, man. It reeks the more I look into it. You got writers disavowing their own nationality because they're white as some weird virtue signaling angle. Professors who shouldn't be allowed within 5 meters of any school or public area. And you've pissed off an entire nation by implementing bad sword positioning and Chinese architecture over Japanese. I would say this reveal has been nothing short of a mess, but even I didn't expect it to be this bad. And let's end this video with the hypocrisy of websites. Just remember that when Neo came out, places like Slant Magazine reviewed Neo when it came out in 2017 and said stuff like this in their review. It's a shame that the game saddles itself with telling the story of the first Gaijin samurai, William Adams. Yes, he's an actual historical figure. In fact, John Blackthorne in James Clavell's 1975 novel Shogun is based on Adams. But given how much of a blank slate Williams ends up being over the course of the game's story, there's no logical reason why he needed to be our gateway into this world instead of a native with actual skin in the game, pun intended.
Have to get
They
that
were mad
CCP
then
credit.
that an actual historical white guy who came to Japan became the hero of Neo, and the game was made by Japanese too, by the way. So will Slant Magazine have the same mentality when Shadows Arise and Yasuke is in it? Of course not. They'll probably praise it. They'll say it was daring of Ubisoft and it was amazing and all of that. This is what we're dealing with. Blatant historical revisionism blanketed by woke lunatics who want to normalize child-adult relationships. That is apparently the legacy of Assassin's Creed Shadows right now. And as a jaded Assassin's Creed fan, I am just beside myself at how awful this has all turned out. Let me know what you think as always. Thank you for watching, and if there's more, I'll cover it, but for now, this is just awful, man. Thanks to my patrons for their support. Like, subscribe, and share, and have a wonderful day. Don't lose hope, guys. I'll keep pushing, and I'll do my best to keep you informed, and I'll see you in the next one.
This video is
sorry
brought
about
to
that,
you
guys.
by Man.
So with that said, Assassin's Creed Shadows woke Sweet Baby Inc. agenda expose Japanese players reject Yusuke. So with that said, that was insane and all that great stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching. Now we're going to go to our only video here. We got one left. And the only video that's left here is just this anime recommendation.
Ryaga Samurai. I stopped playing after Syndicate.
Yeah, we all... I stopped playing Assassin's Creed after like Assassin's Creed like 3. I think it was 3 or 2. I think it's 3 or 2. At the time, it's just I couldn't afford the games at the time, but like either I just got really... just felt all the same to me after a while. Alright, so this is a video from Terrible Wanderer. The best underrated ongoing manga out right now.
I haven't even played it.
Alright, so with that said, from Terrible Wanderer, let's see what they say.
I finally got some free time to read some manga, and more importantly, some new and ongoing manga. Sort of. Most of these mangas are pretty good, some with only a few chapters out, others with a bit more, but they all have a solid beginning, and it makes me pretty mad how underrated they are. So instead of gatekeeping, I decided to make a video on it. And I won't go too much into detail because there isn't a lot of chapters out for these mangas, so keep that in mind. Now, I do need some people to talk with about these series, so feel free to give me your opinions on them in the comments. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the first manga on our list, and it's called... Senso Kaiushitsu. This manga is about Ryuka, a 14-year-old boy who wants to be a musician, but he's a mercenary. Horn player who's a slave to his commander. That's not all. He's a freak who has a horn on his head. Ryuka feels like a genuine teen who was exposed to a lot of disturbing things. He's straightforward to everyone, even his commander. I hate everything except for playing the horn. Seeing countless corpses hanging down the trees, spears decorated with intestines, girls my age. Yeah, when I sound my music and see the sounds I create, I'm spared from seeing decorated with intestines. Girls my age. Yeah, when I sound my music and see the sounds I create, I'm spared from seeing all those disgusting
Girls
sights.
my age,
I want to train under a veteran horn player, and I want to attend a university and learn musical notation, because those things are actually worth something. Does that help you understand why I want to leave this place?
Say, Ryuka, hasn't your horn grown quite a bit?
Who gives a shit? This manga has sold itself to me.
Stan.
I was going into this manga head
Something
first, not
bad.
knowing what I'll end up reading.
Wish I knew
and
what
it
it
ended
was.
up having a
You really cut
compelling
that out.
story
I
and a
can't
really
tell.
interesting world. It's one of the most refreshing fantasy mangas I have read in a while. I get tired of the generic isekai stuff. It immediately sets up the world's mysteries. There's superpowered people called Rami. Every other character has an end goal that they want to achieve, and they all have unique abilities, and they all have their own motivation. There's even politics that are actually interesting. But with all of this, there lies an overwhelming threat looming over everything. This manga is great, and I'm glad I finally read it. It has so much potential, it actually does what a fantasy needs to do. I'm not the smartest guy out there, but the power systems in the series need to be analyzed. There's no BS or anything, it's pretty straightforward and easy to follow. But the author makes everything creative and unique. Even though the power system is simple, everyone has their own way of using it. And every time Ryuka plays the trumpet, I can hear it.
Raiga
I can
Samurai.
hear it.
A horned
Does
guy
that
that
make
wants
sense?
to play the horn.
No, but this manga manages to do that.
I didn't even think of that till you said that. Shit, I didn't even think of that.
Stan. Horny.
Goku Rakugai. This manga isn't exactly underrated. It's pretty popular and has a lot of people talking about it. But that's not going to stop me from
Horny.
talking about it, because I really enjoyed this manga and its characters. Look at this. I know I'm not the only one. Goku Rakugai is a manga about two characters, Tao and Alma. They are called troubleshooters who work in a bustling red light district, and they take on any job that requires a solution, as long as they get paid. Pretty simple. But there are creatures called calamities. They are basically monsters that feed on people and the weak. And in this world, there's also beastmen that are humans and animal hybrids or mixes that are discriminated. You see, Tao and Alma have a lot of mystery surrounding them. They help the people that are passed by everybody every day. A little girl being ignored while searching for her lost friend, even a guy who just wants to vent about his dead grandpa. Others may have a hard time because of the many side stories, but for some reason I enjoy them. Maybe I'm weird, or maybe it's because in my life it's similar to these stories. I meet these people and I probably won't ever see them again. And for the little time I was with them, it was enough to make an impact on me. And even sometimes that impact helps me find a solution to some of the problems that I've been dealing with. What I think helps this manga a lot is that it's monthly, which is pretty sad but great at the same time. It has time to write and create a fleshed out story rather than it being rushed or...
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Raiga Samurai.
I kind of like that.
I seen them on Pinterest a lot.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. I like it that it's monthly, then it's weekly. Weekly is so, like, the week flies by so much, especially when you're working. So if you get a month, you have time to breathe, sleep, and get shit done. Shit, it should be bi-monthly. I know that sounds crazy, but think of it this way. It gives the author time and gives them to really flex what they want to put in, and also they don't get overburnt out, so you get more content in the long run. You're not going to get less or shitty, like, quality shit. You'll get the best stuff that you want, right? Makes sense, right? I think bi-monthly should be the best idea. That'll be the best thing, but yeah, I know, I'm pretty sure that has to do with money and fees. You know, that stuff they have to do to keep their manga intact in their studio and blah blah blah.
Not well thought out. The manga is doing a great job so far, and the dynamic between Tao and Alma is definitely the selling point. The two of them are very likable and have a deep history that I hope will be explained. This manga reminds me of one of my favorite mangas, Black Lagoon. Just like the Lagoon Company, they do anything for money or because they secretly want to. And there's plenty of action and great stories. Also, I love her character design.
Sell to millions of people online with Shopify's social
Yeah, it's
media
very
and
unique.
marketplace integrations.
I'm not gonna lie, her character design is really unique and recognizable. It's not hard to like forget. It's very different. It's different. It's not the traditional look of like most anime female protagonists. She has this very like domineering look. Like she's like she's really calm, collected. It kind of reminds me of what's her face from she has the type of personality just like what's her face from oh my god, what's her name from?
I gotta check it out.
What do you call it? Hellsing, the black woman with the blonde hair. I think it was her. I forgot her name. She had like a very cool, collected like personality, and then there was another show. I think it was from Akame no Kill, the leader of them, the female. I'm pretty sure that's what she's like.
It's a waste of your life to continue having regrets. Live life to the fullest. Let's apologize on the other side when we die.
Yes, I know them.
Yeah.
Stan. Is Death.
S-Death. No, not S-Death. The other one. The leader of the Night Raid. I know you're talking about the blue hair one, but like the other one.
The Witch and the Beast. Gaido was cursed by a witch. Man, I love her character design. She has the eyes of a beast and is known for rushing into things head on.
She kind of reminds me of Power.
Since she is cursed, she has a deep personal grudge against witches. And her partner, Ashef, who's a pretty refined gentleman that happens to carry a coffin on his back. He is the man in charge. He keeps Gaido in check.
He has to be.
I can't.
Yeah, I was just thinking, is he tall? He has to be tall to carry a whole coffin on his back.
I like
Stan.
more. He's a calm-mannered man.
It's
who's
been a
very
while.
patient
I've forgotten the
Gaido.
names.
Together they investigate
Raiga
everything that
Samurai.
deals with magic and
Nayenda.
mysteries and crimes.
There we go.
All while looking for the witch who cursed Gaido. This manga does have an anime and it's pretty good. But
Zoe
of course,
_William.
the manga
Hey,
is
sorry
superior.
to bother. Are you
Everything about the
interested in
manga
a
is
new
true.
model?
Sorry to bother. Are you interested in a new model? Am I interested in a new model? I make models. So no. If you're saying if I'm looking for a model, no. I make my own. I made the one I have. If that's what you're asking.
Zoe _William.
So like if you're looking for a model, if it's the other way around, as in you're looking for someone to make models for you, Zoe, then that'll be me. But no, I'm not looking for a model. I'm perfectly fine with the chibi one I have. I made it myself.
Special. The subtle world building, the slow pace.
I believe, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I believe the character design I made of myself of my VTubing model is pretty unique. I think it's pretty unique the way I made it.
Side stories, it's almost like a puzzle slowly come together and we slowly start to see the main plot point come up. The world is so fascinating and the mystery around magic is great too. We see Ashef use magic to defeat and fight enemies. And then we see Gaida beat everyone with her bare hands. It's a perfect mix of everything. Maybe a bit slow paced,
It is.
but nonetheless a great manga that I hope people...
I was thinking about like changing some stuff about a little bit of my model a little bit, but not anytime soon. Probably like in next time. I want to do more VTubing models. I want to do more chibi VTubing models. I would love to do more and do more different designs that other people can't do or wouldn't do. I'll do a lot more different designs from others.
Give more attention to. And if you don't read manga, watch the anime. Why are you
There's an
watching this
anime?
video?
Oh shit.
I know. Chojin X. I know. I said underrated, and maybe people might say that this is.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely popular.
Isn't that
and
the
pretty well.
Tokyo Ghoul guy who made this? Trojan X is like reminiscent of that. I don't think it's in the same universe. I think it's a whole different story, a whole different like universe from something else. I think.
Unknown. Sui Ishida is amazing and is a brilliant author and artist. I'm ashamed and mad at what they did to him, both the anime and the rushing of his
Raiga
manga.
Samurai.
So I'm really glad that he has time to flesh out his ideas and his creativity. Children X is special. You know, whenever you read or watch a really good movie or manga or book, it's hard to put into words. I'm a huge fan of Tokyo Ghoul. I remember watching the anime when my friend recommended it to me in middle school. I remember watching the AMVs. Everything about it was great. So it's great to see the author continue his work in perfecting his craft. And trust me, I'm aware of how much I've been yakking, but I just had to get past that.
It's about the same universe thing though.
Tokyo.
It's in the same universe for real?
He has a great relationship with his friend Azuma, who is a complete opposite. He's strong and courageous. Together, they give out justice in their own town. However, there are Chojins that run around the world, superpowered creatures that both Tokyo and Azuma tried to avoid.
Raiga Samurai.
Until one night, the thug that they defeated a couple days back comes and turns into this. He ends up beating Tokyo and Azuma, but he doesn't stop there. He wants to kill them. So their only choice is to use a drug that turns people into Chojin.
So, I guess it's kind of like Tokyo Ghoul, but kind of in the reverse of stuff. Because, like, the main character was in a desperate situation, but it was just out of fate. The stuff dropped on both of them. On, like, the giant iron. I think it was the iron beams. So, they kind of gave the body, the body parts to, like, the main character, and he became a ghoul. But this time, both main characters, I guess they're both main characters, are in a desperate situation, but they have the choice to help themselves.
This is Kayla. She's a video editor on Fiverr, a platform for freelance services.
Hey, look, I found an animal just like Tokyo. Huh? A vulture. You can definitely see the resemblance and the hints of Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm not saying that Tokyo Ghoul will overshadow this manga, but I hope to see this manga surpass it, and so far it's been a really good read. The final manga on the list is Dear Anemone, and it's kind of hard to say where this will end up. It has one chapter out, and it is made by the assistant of My Hero, or former assistant. The story follows a boy named Gaku who is sent to Galapagos Island. This island was bombed 10 years ago, and there are other volunteers with them. They're all sent to this island to investigate the disappearance of a military team. And of course, they'll get money from doing this. But this island was described by Charles Darwin, who is primarily known as the architect of the theory of evolution by natural selection. Yeah, I looked that up, but it makes me sound smart, so I'm gonna just leave that there. This place is known as an evolutionary paradise, as the inhabiting animals have evolved independently of others around the world. It does sound like Hell's Paradise, and it does also sound like every horror island manga out there. But I see something in this manga. I may be wrong, and it may just be another cliche, but I have hope for it. Again, it has one chapter out, so I can't really say anything else without spoiling it. But
Wait. Wasn't the premise in Hell Paradise about special plant or something? Some type of plant? Not a special plant. They was trying to get the elixir of like immortality or some shit, but like, wasn't that a plant supposed to be, was like the starting force of the whole thing, because the bodies of the people was ravished by plants? Isn't like most of the people that lived at the island was some type of plant hybrid human thing? Or some shit like that? I think it was like that, if I remember right.
It doesn't hold back on the gore. Maybe me saying My Hero might have scared you guys off. And check this manga out to see if you genuinely like it. Thanks for watching. I'm really glad that I picked up these mangas.
Raiga Samurai.
My love for reading manga
yet.
I kind of got
Okay, I'm not
tired after
crazy.
a while. Or a little drained. But I'm definitely hyped to read more manga. I might even read some of your guys' recommendations. Maybe.
Why is it? Okay, so that's the end of that. It's 5:46. I got a little more time in me, so we'll look for another one.
We can't save you.
So this is from Oni-chan, The Terrifying Art of Yoshihiro Togashi.
From getting tagged
I think
in a
I read
wipeout
that right.
video, but
Could
we
be wrong.
can't.
I'm sure some people
Samurai.
upon seeing this
I've been reading it for a week now.
Is it good or no? Oh, this is from the guy who made Hunter x Hunter, I think.
will think it was drawn by Junji Ito or some other seinen mangaka, but this is just your typical Hisoka from chapter 28. This one is also Hisoka from a chapter earlier. This panel from chapter 90 holds terrifyingly realistic details. Togashi had absolutely no reason to draw it, as it is completely irrelevant to the arc and its themes. And to me it's just scary, and I can't explain why. This one from level E, another manga by Togashi, and it's giving me chills. And this is the Black Club from Yu Yu Hakusho. I can't begin to describe what's going on in this panel for reasons I'm sure you know about. And the same can be said about this Marina panel from Hunter x Hunter. This forest from the Phantom's true past looks like something out of a Junji Ito manga. The Dark Continent looks like something from Berserk, so wild, detailed, and chaotic.
Oh, okay.
Although I have to say that the last two were probably not personally drawn by Togashi, because the latter is currently ill and some artists gave him a hand with his specific chapters. Hunter x Hunter drawings normally are so simple and dull, if I may say, but sometimes, without any warning, you will encounter something which is out of a seinen manga. Until now I have used panels from 3 different mangas, but in your opinion, what is the common factor between them? Yes, they were made by the same person, but also misanthropy. In Yu Yu Hakusho, the Black Club does the most gruesome of things for sheer pleasure. Also in the same manga, the chapter Black Tape is a compilation of human done atrocities that will make anyone who watches it go insane. In Hunter x Hunter, Prince Rydnik is a psycho. Marana Prodo wants to destroy the world. And the narrator in chapter 298 goes as far as asking the question, were humans so different from ants? As for level E, which I'm not really an expert in, but to the best of my knowledge, Prince Baka loves to torment those around him for his own amusement. Togashi generally loves to talk about random stuff, which he then gives up on. Remember how he told us a lot about auctions in the pre-Greed Island arc, just for him to give up on it and never show us an auction, and how he explained the whole Heaven's Arena system, but Gon and Killua were simply not interested. Plotlines that lead nowhere. They are there because Togashi thinks they are good entertainment, and because he simply likes them. Very old writers use—
I kind of like that. I know some people will hate that from Togashi on sometimes how he sets up a story in Hunter x Hunter, and it feels like okay, say for instance, I think it was a lot weird when everyone thought I think most of us thought at some point that Gon was going to meet Meruem and fight him in some form, but that never happened. Actually, they never met. I don't think they ever met Meruem. I think they saw him from a distance, I think, if I remember right. But they never met Meruem, not once. Throughout the entire arc. It was just the most convenient time that they didn't see him in time.
True.
And that felt kind of realistic to a certain extent. Right? It kind of felt realistic. Right? It's like I think we all know what I'm talking about. Like, you know how like you were supposed to meet someone but never happened because some bullshit happened? Kind of like that. Like in anime, when someone said they're going to do something, 9 times it's going to happen, or it's going to in anime, when someone says or acknowledges something, it's either a fact by default, or it's going to happen eventually down the line, right? In some way, whether it's a villain saying they're going to kill someone, or a hero said they're going to save the day, right? So it's kind of like that. So when Togashi Tagashi sets up a storyline. It keeps you kind of like, are we going to really do this, or are we going to go somewhere else? And now that's kind of interesting, because that keeps people kind of engaged, instead of just saying, oh, we're going to get the point A, point B because it's a shonen and usually the good guys win type shit, right? So that's kind of expected, but with Tagashi, I keep saying his name wrong. It's like, if he says they're going to go to the auction to somewhere, there might be a chance that we may not go at all. Or the auction will be just mentioned one time and we never go. That kind of felt realistic to a certain extent. I won't call it a payoff, but I will call it like, it just feels realistic. I think that's all I can say.
To do that, like how Victor,
because not everything happens by plan. Like that, I think that's what it is. Not everything we plan goes by plan. So that's something that happens in anime a lot. Everything kind of goes by plan, whether in the far future or not. You know what I'm saying?
Ego in Notre Dame de Paris describes the architecture of Paris in minute detail, or Herman Melville talking extendedly about hunting methods in Moby Dick. But with time, writing became a big business with strict rules, like the Chekhov gun, which states that every element in a story must be necessary and irrelevant elements must be removed. As for Tagashi, he gets to do whatever he wants with no consequence, because he is a fantastic mangaka. Tagashi loves to dive deep into human psyche, evil, sinister, and altogether scary stuff normal shonens don't have. And he also loves politics, game theory, and complicated systems that are complicated just for the sake of being complicated. So he adds them to the manga, but at the same time he doesn't want to stick to something for a long time. So he ends up merging everything together, giving us something like Hunter x Hunter or Yu Yu Hakusho.
Actually, how do I sign that?
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. It was only 3 minutes. Oh, that shit was only 3 minutes. I'm sorry. I'll do one more. But nothing. Why manga don't last in Shona? 4 weeks ago, seinen. Let me see. One more anime one, and then we'll. I don't know if we should end it. Should we end it?
Seinen.
I'll think of it.
Throughout the mass amount of anime and manga out there in the world, there is one demographic that stands out to me the most. A category of manga defined by its complex and mature themes, oftentimes associated with more violence and ambiguity. It's a demographic that—
I don't know yet, because like, I don't think anyone's in the mood to watch me play game again.
Stan. I'm going. Good night from me.
Alright, Stan, thank you for coming in, my bro. You're awesome. Thank you for coming in. You're just amazing, dude. I appreciate you. I have to go and answer you on Discord. I didn't get to. I'm sorry about that. So when I get to, I promise I'll respond to you. So thank you so much, Stan. Nothing but a support. Thank you. I appreciate you. I don't know. I don't think anyone's in the mood to watch me play game, to be honest.
Kissing face.
Oh, thank you, bro. One love, bro. I don't think anyone's in the mood to watch me play game. I don't think so. It is 5:55. If I were to play game, I might play Marvel Snap, or I'll just play Cult of the Lamb.
I will stay for another hour and a half.
Oh, let me see. Okay. I don't know. Should I play Cult of the Lamb, or should I just call it a night? Because if I call it a night, I'll have time to like do all the thumbnails.
What game are you thinking?
Either Marvel Snap, because either maybe Marvel Snap, or probably just Cult of the Lamb. Maybe. I don't know. Because since TikTok fucked off because it's too damn sensitive, I'm like, I don't know.
Features some of the most thrilling stories out there, and one that contains some of the greatest narratives in manga history. Let's talk about seinen. Seinen manga refers to a demographic of Japanese comic books or graphic novels that are primarily targeted towards adult male readers. The term seinen directly corresponds to youth.
For today.
Let me see, you said, end it like end the stream for today. Okay.
In Japanese, relating to its target demographic. But it's crucial to understand that although seinen manga is targeted towards young males, it does not necessarily have to align with what every young male would enjoy.
Actually, after the stream is over, I'm gonna just finish the rest of this.
It's actually much broader. Seinen is mainly distinguished from its counterparts shonen and josei because of the demographic's mature themes and dark ambiance. Although the counterparts often express darker and mature themes, the extent and realism that seinen presents is far beyond the others. This category of manga, although meant to pertain to young male adults, delves into a wide range of genres such as action, horror, sci-fi, romance, and slice of life, which results in a demographic that is never flat and always consistently evolving as time goes on. One of the most impressive aspects of the allure of seinen is nested within the characters that inhabit these detailed and complex narratives. The demographic is known to be filled with nuanced characters who undergo their own personal struggles and moral dilemmas, which pushes forward a sense of distinctiveness that effectively keeps the reader engaged in the narrative and always wondering what the mangaka has planned next. But one mangaka in specific excels in their narrative storytelling like none other.
So after this video, you will end the stream?
Yeah, pretty much, maybe. Because it's only in 10 minutes, and I would keep going, but I think it'd be, I think it'd be best if I just end the stream early, so I can get to all the thumbnails, get all the content that I did for all the games, have them downloaded and stuff. Yeah, I'll do that. After this 10-minute video is over, I'm gonna go straight to the I'm gonna just make the thumbnails and
Samurai.
Stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being
tomorrow we'll play Cult of the Lamb or
okay.
Marvel Snap, because I know TikTok has invited me to do a Marvel Snap like they came to me for a Marvel Snap opportunity. I don't know how that's gonna work, so we're gonna see.
Naoki Urasawa. This legendary mangaka, responsible for 20th Century Boys, Monster, Pluto, Billy Bat, and so many more, has established himself as one of the greatest authors within manga history. Urasawa's ability to create intricate plots revolving around suspense and psychological depth allow his series to become genuine one-of-a-kind stories. A manga about a group of childhood friends who find themselves intertwined in a mysterious conspiracy orchestrated by a cult leader known only as Friend, uncovered that the cult icon bears a striking resemblance to a symbol they had created during their childhood, and the events taking place under the command of Friend are nearly identical to what the children had fantasized about when they were younger and written in their notebook titled The Book of Prophecy. This is the plot of 20th Century Boys, a manga that Urasawa created in 1999 and one that bears one of the most thrilling, engaging, and mysterious plots within manga. Urasawa is truly one of a kind when it comes to mystery series, and within 20th Century Boys, this is extremely present. There's immense build-up to a certain event, the intro's climax, if you will, and then there's a time skip, and he completely passes over the entire event that the series had led up to. This only increases the mystery and secrecy tenfold, and engages the reader even more into the narrative that is filled with plot holes waiting to be explained. Aside from mystery itself, Urasawa is able to create stories filled with great detail involving complex and multi-layered characters, which is exhibited perfectly in his 1994 Monster, a series that revolves around a neurosurgeon that faces a moral dilemma when he saves the life of a young boy over the life of the mayor of the city. Years later, the neurosurgeon finds out that the boy he saved that night had become a manipulative serial killer and feels responsible for his actions, and wishes to put an end to his murders. Although, he realizes that this boy is not normal, as he discovers the truth of his past, one filled with conspiracies, experiments, and dark secrets. The neurosurgeon attempts to undo the ramifications of what this man had done, creating a complex plot involving murder, intrigue, and the desire for redemption. Through themes of morality, identity, as well as the nature of evil, Monster inhabits one of the most intricate plots with complex storytelling and characters that manga has ever seen. Without fail, Urasawa has been able to perfectly capture what seinen depicts. Throughout all of his works, not just the ones I mentioned, he's able to illustrate the ideal portrait of what a seinen series should be. Through his intriguing storytelling and ability to create suspense within his narratives, he's arguably the master of plots within manga. But seinen itself isn't just praised and adored because of the depth and complexity of the narrative and plot. Most times, it's because of the characters that express the themes presented within the story. And there's sort of a staple for this. When most people think of a seinen character, they tend to think of Thorfinn from Vinland Saga, Musashi from Vagabond, and Guts from Berserk. Each of these characters are composed of multi-layered and complex themes that make up the principle of what a seinen protagonist should be. Initially shown as a fierce warrior driven by hatred and revenge, Thorfinn's journey throughout the series into a man with no enemies and nothing but compassion for others is one that makes his character unique, as he challenges traditional notions of masculinity and heroism while he struggles with the consequences of his actions and seeks a path to redemption. His evolution from a single-minded warrior to a much more compassionate individual showcases the maturity and depth typical of seinen protagonists, making him a compelling and relatable figure in the demographic. As a wandering swordsman on a quest to become invincible under the sun and master his blade, Musashi embodies the essence of the seinen demographic's insight into complex and mature themes. His journey from disregarding the value of human life in his youth to becoming a philosophical warrior with the appreciation of his surroundings showcases the immense depth surrounding his character and Vagabond as a seinen series. Musashi's constant pursuit of proficiency in swordsmanship is more than just physical skill. It also serves as a metaphor for his deep desire for self-discovery and wisdom. His relationships with those around him, as well as the difficulties he encounters, serve as a catalyst for reflection, moral discovery, and personal development, which resonates deeply with the reader, showing us insight into the human condition and the quest of one's ultimate purpose. From his sporadic childhood marked by tragedy and violence, to his relentless pursuit of vengeance against the demonic forces that haunt his world, Guts embodies the dark and mature themes characteristic of the seinen demographic perfectly, and the best that I have ever seen. His unwavering determination and ambiguous nature make him a multi-layered and compelling character. Despite facing unimaginable horrors and betrayals, Guts perseveres, showcasing resilience and strength in the face of adversity. His character arc is an engaging exploration of trauma, redemption, and the search of meaning in a world consumed by darkness. His evolution from a lone mercenary driven by rage to becoming a protector of those he cares for demonstrates the depth and complexity typical of seinen protagonists, making him the face of this compelling and adored demographic of manga. With all the themes of overcoming hardship and the life lessons that we learn from these characters, there's no doubt that us as readers take aspects away from the series and characters and incorporate them into our own lives. There's something so special about seeing someone in a similar position as you overcome their obstacles and persevere in the face of adversity. Although the circumstances are not one-to-one, as I don't think anyone watching this video is a giant sword-wielding Chad, we feel empowered seeing people overcome their obstacles to create a better future for themselves and those around them. We feel the sense of realism from manga within this demographic, even despite most time being portrayed in worlds that are nothing like our own. The way these series tackle the complexity of its characters allow us to resonate with them and find ourselves in their shoes. In certain instances where the story is genuinely realistic, mainly done by Naoki Urasawa, we find ourselves immersed in a story that feels as though it could occur in our day-to-day lives. The display of societal issues and human emotion is portrayed like none other as seinen. We see real-world examples of the negative side of power and corruption, and are shown how these aspects can impact humans and their perceptions. Sure, you can find relatability in nearly any form of literature out there, but there is something so personal about seinen, especially the artwork. Not to put down any manga or their creators, but most times art within seinen manga is much more realistic and genuinely just better looking. Seinen artwork, especially in the works of Takehiko Inoue, Sui Ishida, Shinichi Sakamoto, and the late Kentaro Miura, is able to convey such raw and human emotion, and also simply just the beauty of the world's scenery. Whenever I read a seinen manga, I find that every aspect that goes into creating these series leaves me in awe and constantly reflecting upon my own life. As funny as it sounds, drawings are changing my life, but genuinely seeing Guts overcome all the tragedy and hardship that he has experienced, seeing Musashi learn to value his own life and understand the true meaning of strength, and seeing Thorfinn become unchained to his desire for revenge and living a life free of burdens truly changed my life and the lives of millions of people all around the world.
What have you done to me? Loudly crying face.
Now,
Why
this
am I
poses a
suddenly
question.
good at drawing
Which
face?
demographic
Loudly
is
crying
better,
face. Loudly
seinen
crying
or shonen?
face.
Huh? Teach, what have you done to me? Why am I suddenly good at drawing furries? I don't know about the furry thing. I don't know about the furry thing, bro. I don't know about that one.
Those two genres are compared all the time, and the answer is neither. It's very difficult to compare demographics, as they're much different than genres. There can be 2 series published under Shonen Jump being placed in completely different genres, like romance and action. Sure, the demographics have their distinctive characteristics, like seinen being more mature, but besides those aspects, the genre of the series mattered more when comparing the two, which, by the way, we should not be doing. I can't remember the last time I had a conversation with anyone about this topic and they didn't blurt out that they think shonen is better than seinen or vice versa. You're comparing demographics. It doesn't really make any sense. You can say you prefer a series targeted towards older and mature audiences because it pertains to you more so than something lighthearted, but you can't really say one demographic is inherently better than another. I think a lot of people become confused by this and start thinking that these demographics of manga are genres, which really doesn't make any sense considering you could have a slice of life seinen series and you can have another one about gaming. They're entirely
Mono, you're supposed to be the chosen one. You're supposed to defeat them, not join them. You're supposed to be the chosen one!
Different premises, being in different genres, obviously still maintaining their core of being aimed towards young men and exhibiting more realism and mature themes. You can most definitely prefer a demographic over the other because they are clear in what their target audience is, but when it comes to the themes of the narrative and what is actually being expressed, that more so lies within the genre, not the demographic. So with that out of the way, I want to make one final statement as to what pertains to the appeal of seinen. Although anyone can find relatability within any form of literature, I think seinen, for me, does it the best. Seeing characters undergo hardship and obstacles in their life in a somewhat realistic manner resonates with me much more than seeing it presented in a fantasy realm. I think experiencing the realism and maturity of seinen manga has continued to impact me and give me insight into how characters would go about situations that I can perceive.
Loudly crying face, person with folded hands.
I want to be proud, but then again, I can't at the same time. I want to be proud.
Is similar to mine, and although not one-to-one, there is a level of emotion that seinen evokes in me when I see a character go through a realistic scenario and overcome it. Seeing characters push through any obstacle that comes in their path, while the narrative continues to present complex and mature themes, is something I adore, and something that I think as all manga fans get older will appreciate much more. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for the massive amount of support as of late. I've reached a huge goal of mine being 1,000 subscribers, as well as having a video with over 100,000 views, so I cannot thank you all enough for that. If you enjoyed this discussion-based video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite seinen manga in the comment section down below. Once again, thank you all for watching, and yeah,
the only thing positive I can say to you is that if you get good at drawing furries, you can make some crazy money. Just saying. But I know that's not technically what you want to do, but I'm just saying. If you strap for cash, you can draw some furry shit. Now that gets questionable based on what furry shit you're gonna draw. But you know, that's a rabbit hole I will not bring up right now. Anyway, so with that said, that is Shikai Steph. I think I said it right. So that's Shikai Steph on the whole recommendation.
Yet if you draw them without clothes.
Oh god. But like, yeah, that's the whole Shikai stuff now. So with that said, have a great night, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go. It's 6:08. I'm gonna call it early so I can get some stuff done. I'm gonna get a bunch of thumbnails out of the way, get them out of the way, download all the stuff I did from Lethal Company to this point, and then I guess I'll start even editing them today. I hope so, but we'll see.
Good night, everyone.
All right, have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for coming in. Later, guys. Y'all.